and you currently reside in Winter Park. You ran for Congress,
Yeah.
include
Yeah.
that territory as well.
Yeah. So Florida is my home. It has been my home for 50 years, so America is my home. I am an all-American girl, and I don't ever see myself ever go back to Vietnam or live anywhere in the world except here in the United
But
States.
but real briefly, because we're running out of time, and I want to talk a couple of other issues. But
Yeah.
you have visited. You are a full American citizen, have been for many many years. You've got an American
Yeah.
family,
Yeah.
but you visited Vietnam since you left.
I have not. No, I have not. I
Huh?
have not visited Vietnam, and one of the biggest reasons is Vietnam is still controlled under communism, and I refuse to uh, give money
Yeah.
or pay for and or support anything that communism or communist regime.
So I hear you loud
So
and clear. That
yeah,
sounds very much like your fellow Floridians of Cuban descent.
you're
Uh,
right.
Cuban
Yeah.
that absolutely refuse. They fight any effort that the United States, usually Democrats, make to open the door with Cuba. They say,
Yeah.
no, it's a communist regime. They are not
Yes.
going to engage, and that's obviously how you feel
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
Vietnam.
I refuse to contribute to any way, shape, or form to communism.
Understood. Understood. Well, let me also ask you, Twee. We have a president that I think as rigidly patriotic as you and I are, and love our country as much as we do. President Trump in his second term, we have marked the historic marker that historians set, the first 100 days. How do you think our president is doing right now?
So you know what's interesting, right? So Joe Biden, I don't want to bring his name up, but I think it's kind of fun for us to do it because it drives the left, the liberal Democrats crazy when his name come up now. So Joe Biden was on The View yesterday, as a matter of fact, and he said that President Trump has the worst 100 days in any presidents over that they ever had, that we ever had, right? And so I find that interesting that he has to say that. And even though he out there, pushing against President Trump's agenda, all of these liberal Democrats leaders out there, they're like, it's like, no, Joe, we don't need you to go out there and fight for us. You need to just stay home kind of thing. So that was interesting that, his perspective, of course, of President Trump's 100 days. But to me, look, there's one word that I can describe this administration and the president. And I would say that it's explosive. The 100 days in office has been explosive because since day one, he signed like what, 25, and I could be very close, 26 executive orders. In the first 100 days, he signed over 143 executive orders. I mean, the man and this administration is doing everything they can to right the wrong, to right the ship where it has been sinking under the Biden administration. So I am amazed by what this administration has done. I mean, it's incredible. I am an activist. I'm involved in politics, and my head is spinning because he doesn't sleep. It seems he does. It's like every single day there's something new. I mean, when you turn on your phone, look at the news. Every single day, there's something else that's doing, and it's driving the liberal left crazy because he is doing something that they couldn't have done or they haven't been doing. So he is changing our history. He's changing
Absolutely.
the map on
Absolutely. And so
everything under every issues.
and obviously, when you say explosive, you mean explosive in the affirmative, for the positive, for the better.
Of course, yeah, yeah. I mean, he explosive meaning that he is doing everything that he can to right the ship. I mean, it's just so much that he's doing that is for the good of the better, right? Sometimes, when you change something that it is not easy to change. Like if you clean, you seem like you need to uh, uh, blow things up. And I'm not, maybe not, that's not even the
Oh,
right word.
look,
Just,
the reason the man was elected in 2016 and reelected, I would say in 2020, but
yeah,
definitely 2024,
yeah,
was
right.
because he was a disruptor. Well, that's beautiful.
Exactly. And that's a better word, I think. He's a disruptor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Tweet, it's interesting. The circle is complete. The connection is complete because you, as an immigrant that immigrated to America the right way, uh,
Yeah.
are as disgusted as any other American at what occurred during the Biden administration when you had a de facto open border and basically an invitation for any illegal immigrant around the world to just come into the United States as if it was a hotel. And I would say the Trump administration has had a number of successes, as you said, but I think the singular success is him shutting down the border effectively and
Oh
having
my gosh. Yes. So
a number
ever
of
since
illegal.
he put his foot down
Yep.
on this immigration, the problems that we have in our country,
Yep.
90%, I mean, it's it works 90%. They seen that there was 90% drop in people illegally trying to cross into the United States. That is doing something right. You know,
Absolutely.
we talked about me as an immigrant into this country, and I want to reaffirm that this is a legal immigration, legal immigrant. This America is a country full of immigrants, but we want to support legal immigration. We want to protect the physical safety of Americans here. So, America has a rule of law. You know, we have laws that needs to be complied with, and we need laws to make sure that we are protecting our country.
Absolutely.
Uh,
Absolutely.
yeah, and I remember, you know, years and years ago, back in the 70s, one thing that embedded in my head was and I was a permanent resident
Hmm.
of the United States for about 20 years because it was very difficult at the time to get citizenship. It just
Right.
the process was very
Um,
slow at the time. So it took us that long to become for me to become a U.S. citizen. But I remembered that the thought that if you do something wrong and if you get thrown in jail, you will get deported. That's the very important idea that what was embedded in my head since I came to this country as a young girl, that if you do something wrong and you're not an American citizen, you will be deported. So I don't really, you know, the law is there. I don't understand why we have not
enforced our own laws.
enforced our own law, right? And why we are allowed so much leniencies
That's
in
right.
the immigration system.
Well, we're going to have to, unfortunately, we've run out of time, Twee. We're going to have you on back again so we can dive in even further to our immigration system. Thank you, Thuy
Yes.
Lowe, for joining us.
Yeah.
This is Niger Innis Presents the Trump Revolution, a
Yeah.
part of the TvAbraham network. Thank
Yeah.
you for joining, and we will talk
Yeah.
to you again, I promise, Twee. And as my great father and civil rights icon Roy Innis said, live your life with TLC, not for tender love and care, but for truth, logic, and courage. Peace
But
with you and God bless. Bye
well,
bye.
thank you so much, Niger. Thank you for having me on today. And I'm looking forward to talk more about what President Trump is doing because there's changes every single day. So I'm looking forward to for that.
Take care. God bless.
All right. God bless you.